Hi, Miss Kathy. We're canning green beans.
Yes.
Well, thank you. We're definitely going to appreciate this demonstration that you're about to do for us.
Thank you.
All right, so here's my first question, though. Why should we pressure can green beans?
Okay, well, it's very important to pressure can your low acid vegetables, things like green beans, squash, anything low acid has to be pressure canned to kill the bacteria and the possibility of botulism being formed.
Wow. So how do we get started?
Well, the first thing you do is assemble all of your ingredients.
Okay.
And this is something that you may want to just mark a day off on your calendar because you want to have your green beans ready to go. And what I like to do is go to the farmer's market and buy, we normally say about one pound of green beans per pint jar.
Okay.
So if you were going to do a dozen pints, you'd get about 12 pounds of green beans.
Okay.
So you get your green beans ready, your pressure canner, and we like to have people come by the office, bring their lid, if they have a dial gauge, and let us test their dial gauge.
Okay.
And we test it at 5, 10, and 15 pounds of pressure. Many times, maybe it's been in an attic, and the gasket has dry rotted. So we also tell people before they get started, they want to get a little bit of cooking oil, non-salted cooking oil, and oil that gasket. And they can learn from my experience. We forgot to do this one year. Remember, we had to call y'all in to get the lid off. So you want to go ahead and oil your lid before you get started. And then you want to have your lids simmering. We've got those simmering at 180 degrees. We have our jars. Ideally, we would have a huge stock pot with simmering water, but we don't have that. So we've cheated a little bit. And we've got 4 jars hot in a crock pot, some water simmering because we're doing the cold pack. And then you want to have your canning salt, your basic canning equipment, the timer, and the rings, and also some pot holders.
Sure.
And your instructions. Even if you've done this a dozen times, you still want to have your recipe and read through it so you don't forget anything.
All right, well, we're going to let you go ahead and get started then.
Okay, what we've done, like we said, we went ahead and we've got everything, the water that we need is simmering. So the first thing we're going to do is get one of our hot jars. And people say, well, why do you have to heat these jars up? If you don't have a hot jar and you put it in a hot pressure canner, what's going to happen? The jar will crack. Well, we may still have something crack, but we're going to go ahead and put these green beans in the jar.
Okay, so you fill it up just about to the top?
Just about to the top. And then I'm going to get some hot water. Very hot water. Because see, we've got our hot jar. And we're going to go ahead and spoon that hot water into the jar. I may have to take some of these green beans out. We're just going to go ahead and experiment with this. And you want to fill it to within 1 inch of the top. That's important because you want to have 1 inch of headspace. Okay, so what we can do,
you have to
push
pack it.
these down. You have to pack it down. And like we said, 1 inch, that's probably more than 1 inch. So we can just pour this out. Okay, pour a little of that out. And you may have to experiment. Okay, and we just happen to have a ruler here, and these are in increments of 1/4, 1/2, all the way up to 1 inch.
Okay.
So you see we're looking at about 1 inch. And then we want to run this down the sides of the jar to get out the air bubbles. See all of those air bubbles?
Yes, you do.
Lots of air bubbles. These green beans are so pretty. I tell you, they're nice and fresh. Then you want to add 1/2 teaspoon of canning salt, about 1/2 teaspoon per pint.
So why are we using the salt?
Well, the salt helps in the preservation, and people have asked me, what's the difference between canning salt and regular salt? Okay, here's the canning salt. You can buy it at any grocery store, but this says pickling and canning salt. It's non-iodized, and it's a much finer salt than regular salt. You can see how fine that is. But that helps in the preservation. So the next thing you want to do, you want to wipe the top of the jar. You want to wipe that real good. Okay, let's see. I may be able to add a few more green beans in there, and I just happen to have some extra green beans. So we're going to put a few more green beans in there because you want to pack them down. Since you're doing pressure canning, what will ultimately happen when we take these out of the pressure canner, the green beans will rise to the top. And you might have 2 inches of water at the bottom, which is okay, but still you want it to look good. So you have to put a lid on this that has been simmering at 180 degrees. So over here we have our pot, and I've got this simmering at 180 degrees.
Ah, so it's right on it.
Yeah, and you can let these simmer for as long as you're doing your pressure canning, but you go ahead and you lift this out, and you put it on the rim, just like that. And then you take your, you've got, see that little rubber on the rim is going to adhere to it. And then you screw this band on just fingertip tight, okay? Just fingertip tight, not too tight. And then we're going to take this and place it into the canner. And if you can see the canner, we've got about 2 to 3 inches of water in our pressure canner. We also have a rack in the bottom of the canner. Let's say you've lost your rack somewhere. You can put a towel in the bottom of this, but you've got to have something on the bottom of the rack. So we're going to go ahead and fill the other 3 jars, and then we'll come back and start up again. Okay.
All right, so that was the last one.
Last one, we've got all 4. And we put these down in the canner, and now we're going to secure the lid. That's the hard part.
Oh, so this is the hard part.
Because you've got 2 V's that you want to line up. Okay, see that V?
Oh, okay.
We're going to line that up right here. Just line it up, and it takes a little muscle, and you just close this. Now this is where your patience comes in. We're going to go ahead and turn up the flame. And what we'll do is allow this to vent for 10 minutes. It's going to take several minutes for steam to start coming out of this, but after we allow it to vent for 10 minutes, we're going to put the petcock on, and then that is when our steam, our pressure will start building, and we will count, after it gets up to 11 pounds of pressure, we'll begin counting 20 minutes, and we'll let this pressure for 20 minutes, 11 pounds, and then we'll let it cool down. We're not going to put cold water on it. Some people do that. We will just let it cool down naturally, and after it gets to 0, we'll wait an additional 10 minutes.
All right, Ms. Kathy, we've been at 0 here for about 10 or 15 minutes, so are we ready?
We're ready.
All right.
Even though I know it has cooled down, I'm still going to use a pot holder. And I'm going to take the petcock off, and then we're going to open the lid, and you need to remember to tilt it away from you because there will be steam.
Oh yeah,
so we're tilting that away, and we're going to remove our jars. Oh, the water is still simmering. Okay. And you want to place them on cutting board or a towel away from a draft, and we're going to leave these undisturbed anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. And as the lids seal, we should hear a popping sound. It might happen soon, or it may take several minutes for them to pop. And like we said, these can be kept for up to 2 years. And let me show you some that I've done in years past. These were done in June of 2011. And I found them tilted over, and you see the white residue on the bottom.
That.
These
that
are not,
good.
no, this is not good. They're discolored, and you hear how that sounds. And the lid is puffy, so those are unsafe to eat. These I did in 2012. They remained upright in a cool, dark place, and the lid is still sealed. no discoloration,
right.
still bright green. These are safe.
Okay.
And these I did this past Saturday. I did some salsa. And these are good
Those are
too
good as well.
for up
Okay.
to 2 years. Okay.
So is there a publication about canning foods?
Yes, we have a publication. It's publication number 724.
Okay.
And you can just go online, publication number 724,
Okay.
and you can download it free of charge.
Okay, wow, there goes another pop.
Oh, great. Okay,
right.
we're done. With success.
Ms. Kathy, appreciate it again.
Thank you,
So
Chris.
professional. We do appreciate that. Thank you much. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. To find out more information on this topic, just click on the familyplotgarden.com link in the description.